we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, aka Ben Real Verse World, and this is episode 205 with music video director and YouTuber Christopher Rhodes, aka Ycimaging. Chris has over 340,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel where he uploads in-depth behind-the-scenes videos explaining his process around his music video projects, along with awesome filmmaking tips and tricks. He's had over 21 million video views on his channel and is absolutely crushing it. In this episode, some of the things that we discuss are Chris's career journey from graphic designer to music video director, as well as his decision to move to Atlanta to pursue greater production opportunities. His mission to share behind the scenes of every step of his career and how that sparked a large audience on YouTube. The moment he was able to travel outside of the country for the first time, all because of his camera. How he's able to balance his creative career and YouTube channel while making time for his fiance and his 2 kids. We dive into the reality of the music video industry, tips for aspiring YouTubers, and so much more. We are stoked for this episode today, and yo, to all my video creators out there, if you are looking for a strong music library and also a sound effects library, we have the answer for you. Epidemic Sound is offering the Black with No Cream podcast listeners a 30-day free trial plus 50% off their first month by using the code BWNC at checkout. I've been using Epidemic's music on all my client projects and honestly, even this podcast. Like, let's think about it. Have you ever listened to the Morning Roast intro music and thought to yourself, damn, how did Ben create this amazing song? Like, this song is so good that it deserves a Grammy. I agree, but the process is actually quite simple. I just copied the music on Epidemic Sound's library, and then I wrote a fire chorus. I recorded that thing in like 30 minutes, and now you hear it every Wednesday, and that's how stars are born. So take it from me. The music library is amazing. But anyways, enough with the tangent. Get access to Epidemic's 30,000 plus songs and 64,000 plus sound effects now by using our code. The link is in the description. I promise you it's the best investment you can make as a freelance creator. Again, link is in the description. But real quick, before we move on, if this is your first time tuning in the podcast, you are probably wondering,
what the fuck is Black with No Cream?
Great question. Black with No Cream is the illest educational resource for content creators fueled by caffeine. Or at least I take my coffee black with no cream, but you can drink or not drink whatever caffeine you fuck with and still be a part of our community. We have thousands of members from all around the world working together by sharing content, asking for feedback, passing tips and tricks along to one another with the goal of pushing each other to become the best motherfucking content creators on earth. And you can join our private group if you want to by going to bwnc.com/join. We would love to fucking have you. Please join. And without further ado, I bring to you my episode of Ycimaging and the most epic podcast intro ever created right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time,
you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with No Cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. Ladies and gentlemen, Ycimaging, Christopher Rhodes. What's good, bro? How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm doing good. I can't complain.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. I'm glad that you are able to hop on the Black with No Cream podcast. We've been talking about this for a minute. Obviously, I'm like, yo, whenever you're in LA next, we gotta make this shit happen for real.
Yeah, that was like months ago at this point.
I know.
This is before everything popped off, so.
Right, exactly. Yo, where are you at right now? Are you, because you're from Virginia originally? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Virginia. I'm in Atlanta right now.
Atlanta, bet. All right, cool.
Yeah.
How have things been going, man? I know, the YouTube channel just booming, and you've been killing it on there, inspiring very many people, and it's been exciting to watch that grow and just using it as a resource and stuff. So for you, like, how have things been grooming for you? Especially, I know, obviously, right now is a weird time, but you've been very active on that channel.
Yeah, things have been fine for me, honestly. My workflow hasn't changed too much since the pandemic popped off. A lot of the stuff I do is literally from this office anyway, so I've been grinding it out, to be completely honest with you.
Right, I'm excited to see. I know you, before we got on camera, you talking about you're creating a course.
Yeah, I'm making a course right now.
So what's your plan with that?
I'm trying to kind of get other freelancers on the wave that I'm on with, making some passive income doing other things. So, it kind of alleviates the stress of situations like the pandemic.
Right.
So that's like the basis of the course. Is basically just going through my process on how I make residual and passive income, and trying to get other freelancers on the same wave so they can, use the things that they already know to convert it into some products to make some money.
Right. I appreciate a while back I hit you up for some tips on how to do that as well, like with the podcast and us trying to figure out how to make this shit make money and everything. Like, so we appreciate that. It's cool to see for you, man, like the path that you took, and I know you've talked about this a million times on different podcasts and interviews, I'm sure, just the transition of how you became who you are. But it is cool to see how you went from client work to now creating so much content for YouTube and building your own brand. And I'm curious, like, making that decision from client work to your YouTube channel, what helped you make that decision and attack that?
So just the start of doing the YouTube platform was just more so for myself. I just wanted to document what I was doing. I saw people like Jacob Owens, amazing YouTube content, showing us behind the scenes. I thought it was cool as hell, so I just wanted to do it myself. And then I kind of saw it was a market there, It's people there who need either knowledge, entertainment, transformations creatively. And I just kind of saw a market, started throwing some products at the wall, seeing what stuck. And I just started going at it full time just because, not that I wanted to quit freelancing, but I wanted to be more selective with the freelance projects that I did take on. I've been in situations where I've had to do freelance projects that I hated because I needed the money.
Right.
As I'm sure all of us have.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
We've all been in that. So I saw that, like, dang, I'm having fun. I'm able to say no to projects. I'm making more money. Like, hell yeah, let's do this, So that's kind of how I segued into it.
Before you went solely focused on the YouTube shit, what was like your main type of client jobs? Because I know you talk a lot about music videos. Was it always strictly music videos, or were you doing other type of content around the city?
So I started doing music videos, but I've experimented with everything. I've tried weddings, done event recaps, I've done interviews, small business commercials. I just stuck to the music video lane because I feel like it's the most creative of them all. It's not really a step-by-step guide or format of how to do it. You can just do outlandish creative shit when you do music videos. So
yeah,
I like it. Like, that's my favorite kind of content to create personally.
What were your aspirations? Because it's funny. Me and Dave were just talking about this after our morning roast episode we did, and it's like when we talk about, you get into something and it's passion behind certain creativity. You're like, all right, cool, doing this. Boom, you realize, oh, there's a lot of need for my production skills in not just music videos, but maybe I go over here and do an event recap for this local restaurant or bar or whatever, whoever. And you start finding that you can build income from that, and it kind of grooms you, right? So what were some of your earlier aspirations, like when you got into music videos? Did you want to eventually, like, oh, I'm going to do music videos, I'll move to LA, I want to become this like superstar director? Was that a passion, or was it just kind of like, yo, I like creating these videos in my area? I got, you have a wife. Do you have children?
Yeah, I have a fiance and two sons. Just had us, yeah. And
you all started a podcast, right?
Yeah, we got
Congrats.
a podcast too.
There we go. We'll plug that. But like, when you have that, what was your early aspirations before getting into the YouTube side of things?
Okay, so before I even got into music videos, I used to do graphic designs, and I had it made up in my mind that I was gonna be a huge graphic designer. I wanted to be the guy who designed the covers for movies, that type of shit like that. I still to this day think that shit is the coolest thing in the world. But I eventually just started to mess around with music videos because my brother's a musician. I used to design his mixtape covers, and we just went out one day and started doing the music video thing. So once I started to get into that, I was feeling it. I was making a little bit more money than graphic design. I felt like I was just working my ass off in the graphic design lane and not making any money from it. So I just started to go hard with music videos. And then I wanted to be the music video guy. The big guy, like Colin Tilley is like my favorite music video director. His shit is fucking amazing. And I wanted to be that. I wanted to, do the LA thing, do the New York thing, come there, be the director, do that type of stuff. And that was like the ultimate aspiration for me. I wanted to be the big music video guy.
So what was the reason that you because right now you're taking fewer projects in the music video world. You're being super selective, but like what made you transition? Because I think the topic that we were talking about was, for a lot of people, they wanted to, they wanted to leave. Do I need to? We recorded it yesterday, so it was just about moving to New York or LA. Do I need to do that to become successful as a creator? And ours was like, sure, and also no. You know what I mean? So you don't have to necessarily leave to become the shit at something. But for you, was there any interest in there about moving to? Because you moved to Atlanta at some point, right? So was that your switch?
Yeah. So my initial reason for moving to Atlanta was to do bigger video production. I wanted to have more resources for studios, rentals, crew members, all that shit. So that was the original reason for me moving to Atlanta, was to do bigger, better video production stuff. And it's crazy because my initial reason in getting into YouTube was to do behind the scenes content. And I just wanted to document the whole process. I had to set in my mind that, okay, I'm going to document the process of me doing these low budget things and going into doing the bigger budget music videos. And it just kind of changed. It just kind of shifted, my interest with the music video space. I kind of noticed that it's very competitive, It's very competitive. It's a very competitive space, and it's just continuously getting more competitive. And everybody has access to the same shit.
Right.
You probably use like a fucking A7S2 or something.
Well, yeah, it just always out here. It's like we get a little bit of a luxury of rental houses, so pending projects you pick up. But yeah, the go-to camera, A7S2, all day.
Yeah,
fucking things.
A7S2, GH5, Canon, whatever the fuck camera you have. We all have access to the same shit, right? So that was my whole intentional reason on moving to another state, to do bigger budget video production stuff.
And for you, man, I mean, out here, it's like when you look at it, it's so interesting because it's the same thing. I want to get into music videos. I like to be creative and to start working with bigger and bigger artists. Like that idea is so cool to me. And then when you get into the position of like, I need to make an income, you realize that music videos don't really pay a whole lot of nothing. You know what I mean? Unless you are Dave Myers, Colin Tilley. There's so many names that can get in that bracket, but it is hard to make like a decent living off that, and you stress your whole self out trying to make them come to life, I think what's cool about what you did is you found this shift. You found a way to be super creative while educating and opening doors for a lot of people. Everyone that's trying to get into the space and navigate, you made that switch, right?
Yeah, and I think that was more so the biggest realization as well. Like you said, you want to, the ultimate goal is for you to be able to sustain yourself off of whatever you love. Music videos for me, that's what I wanted to do. And like you said, like you just kind of come to the realization and you notice that there's so many other things out here that are also creative that you can also make a lot more money off of. So it just kind of shifted my mentality when it comes to being creative in a way.
I think that's such a cool thing that you found, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that that's possible, right? Like there's other ways to build a living around creativity, and besides just like beating yourself down. Did you ever see the short film by Morgan Cooper, You Shoot Videos?
Yes, it's fucking amazing.
Bro, as soon as I watched that, I was like, holy shit. And I hollered at him, had him on the podcast, and it was cool from his perspective too, of like, you work so hard to like try to test your creative outlet, and so many people will not invest in that. And that's like the shittiest part about it, when you, I guess it's just a massive struggle when people just don't want to throw money in a project or value it as like the last thing that they care about, but they'll spend all the money on branding and the touring and the marketing and all this shit, but when it comes to the videos, it's always like the smallest thing. Switching to YouTube and you being able to use that as an outlet, now you're collaborating with a ton of top tier brands like Squarespace and like everybody that you've got. You literally have a new company that fucks with you every day, which is the illest shit to watch. So now with that, does that open up the doors of what you're able to do creatively within your projects?
Yeah, absolutely. Like my ultimate goal isn't to quit music videos. Like I said, I'm able to be a lot more selective with the ones I do. And I think that that's the ultimate benefit of it all, I'm able to say no to the projects that won't push me forward. I'm able to say no to the projects that don't pay. And I'm working with all the brands that I've thought about working with, you know?
Right.
I'm working with Canon, doing stuff with Sony. I'm even having more artists reach out to me for music videos from seeing me on YouTube. So
Right.
it's kind of wild.
It's like you're building your own brand in a sense and distro platform. You know what I mean? Like low key, that's
Yeah.
a tight plug to have that.
Yeah, for sure, 100%, man. I'm able to build artists up just off the platform that I have.
It's like kind of a full circle thing right there. That's super cool. Do you feel like it allows you to create for yourself, build your own brand? And it's like Daniel Schiffer or, you know, same with Jacob Owens too. It's like he was able to attract a lot of artists that were coming in return, use that opportunity to create content for the channel that the people that came to the channel most likely came for. They may not have come for music videos or, and they wanted the BTS. And by you building out the BTS, you're able to really crack the code on like, yo, so this is how I lit this space. And I'm going to break that down for you. And that shit goes a long ways for people. Some people will watch that and never forget that. You know, it was the same way. I think I told Justin O'D show and Olufemi tutorials. I told both of them that I remember being in like Germany and searching like a quick tutorial on how to do some edit trick. And their shit popped up and was suggested to me. It was the one that cracked the answer for me when I'm on tour with like Schoolboy Q. And I'm like, dude, that's insane to me. Like I'll always remember that you helped me without really like, you know what I mean? You made a video and moved on with life, but that shit helps so many people. How's that feel for you?
I think it's fire, man. It's dope as hell. It's also shifted the entire platform of creativity as well. Because before this YouTube shit popped off, nobody wanted to tell anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was the most secretive industry in the fucking world. Like, you know, being a video content creator was the most secretive shit ever. Nobody wanted to tell anybody their secrets. Nobody wanted to do tutorials on anything. And now you see Instagram tutorials or like, you know, the split sort of posts where we have the project on top and the behind the scenes at the bottom. That shit is the most popular thing on Instagram.
Yeah, it sparks inspiration, right? Like just to give an idea or be like, yo, it really didn't take that much to do this. And it just inspires people. That's crazy to think about that shit. And for you, what were you doing before, you know, the access to YouTube? Like, how did you find yourself learning?
Decoding stuff, decoding stuff. Like if it was something that I was interested in, I would literally go through a video frame by frame and try to pick apart what I was looking at and figuring out a way that I could recreate it. Like you've been making videos for a long time. You probably remember like back when quasar science tubes weren't really a thing.
Right.
You know, you had to go and you had to manually wire each single tube up to light up, you know, the individual tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that in a music video, thinking it was the coolest shit in the world. And I went to Lowe's and I just picked up like a fluorescent, you know, the little housing for the tubes. And I just tried, like, I'm just trying to figure this shit out and make it work. You know what I mean? So like, that's how I used to figure stuff out. Like before it was an open gateway for the information, I used to just have to decode and figure out a way to, you know, rework this and make it work.
Right. And do you feel like for you, do you feel like you have a bigger purpose with like YouTube and educating creators? Do you feel like that provides you like this new purpose outside of entertainment? It's like this education space. Like what does that make? I don't know. How does it fuel you every day to know that people are kind of look to you and are like, all right, what are we going to learn today? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of weird, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because like I'm still just trying to be a creative person, you know, so I'm learning. The only difference with me and probably somebody who doesn't get on YouTube is that they don't document the process of them learning something, you know? So I don't really necessarily look at it as me being a teacher. I just kind of document the process. We all get on set, we all shoot a project and we fuck up, you know? I'm just documenting it. I'm just showing you, okay, I fucked up doing this, so don't do this. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm still just being a creative person in my own mind.
When you, you know, obviously post or pre-coronavirus, what were like some of the most memorable moments from getting to be creative and go on set and actually like, man, it's been so long since we've been able to really like do shit like for real, you know what I mean? What was some of the what were some of the standout moments for you in the like last year?
Shit, man. All of my most standout moments are just like culture shocks or doing stuff outside of my normal day-to-day life. So I came out to LA for a project last year, 3 projects, and I just linked up with other people out there, and it's just like the kind of like the creative culture and the way people link up and the process of doing shoots. And I feel like all of that was just so memorable because it was way different than how I came up doing stuff, you know?
Right.
I came up trespassing to go to a location to shoot a video, and then I'm coming to LA, and then I see how people are working it on like 20, 30-man sets, and it's like, damn, this is different.
Right.
You know? And then last year I went to Sweden to work on a project with a brand, and it was like, damn, I've never been outside the country. I'm seeing how other countries work. I have a language barrier, you know? I'm trying to communicate what I'm saying to somebody else, and I'm seeing how other people live, and it's just like everything that I experienced last year that is just like mind-blowing to me has been something that's different than what I'm normally doing.
What did you go to Sweden? So that was your first time going out of the country? Was going to Sweden?
Yeah.
Dog,
yeah,
how ill is that?
Time.
Bro, I thought it was the illest thing because I always said in high school, like, for some reason my friends would always go out of the country during spring break. And they'd be like, we're going to fucking backpack through, where, I don't know, just go to some place. And I was like, nah, I want to go out of the country because of music. Like, music would be the reason why. And the first time I got to go out of the country was, every time has been because of touring, you know what I mean? Like with bands and shit. So that is so fulfilling for me. What did that mean for you, like as a creative, that your creative thinking and the way you create shit literally got you to go to Sweden, bro?
I thought it was the craziest shit in the world. It's like, damn, these people want to pay me to come here to do what I've been doing. Like, I don't know. I almost felt like I wasn't worthy of this shit. It was weird. It was like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, why the fuck they pick me to come do this?
Right.
So, nah, bro, it meant a lot. It was like, damn, like something that I'm doing is working. You know, somebody's appreciating what I'm doing, and it made me feel better about what I was doing.
Right.
Know?
What was that trip? I don't know if.
So I went out to Sweden to do a project with Epidemic Sound. You just
dope.
did a contest with Epidemic Sound.
Yeah, Epidemics are like rocking with us right now. They're the shit, bro.
Yeah, so I went out to Sweden. They do like a Epidemic Sound bash every year where they have like their biggest music creators for the platform come out and do concerts, and
oh damn,
we network, we talk about different stuff that we got coming up for the year, and I did like a Music Matters episode where I linked up with one of the creators and we made our own beat for the platform. It was dope.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was tight, man. It was a lot of fun.
Wait, so then you make music as well?
No, that was my first time ever doing anything music related. So we linked up and I helped make a beat. I kind of sculpted the beat and the layout of the track. The shit was ill. It was dope.
That is tight. I think that a lot of people kind of think that there's only one real way to attack being able to expose yourself to new things when they look at it. Like for me in Iowa, I was like, man, like I gotta leave here to, you know, open up some sort of door that's gonna take me somewhere. I need someone to see me. I need someone to like pick me up and let me be creative with them and exercise my muscles that way. But for you, you're able to literally, like, I mean, Atlanta's big, like that's a big city, but the main cities are like, you know, if you really look at it, it's like New York and LA are like the top tier. We got to go here to become somebody. You literally been able to build such a cool outlet creatively on all levels, and it takes you places. It literally allows you to travel. And I think people like through YouTube, bro, like YouTube wasn't that years ago. YouTube wouldn't give people those opportunities unless you did some wild shit and ended up on like Tosh.0 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I just moved to Atlanta like last year. So,
oh shit.
All the stuff that I'm talking about as far as like moments that I vividly remember were me from Virginia.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to live in a central hub to make shit happen. You don't have to be a master in your field to make shit happen. You know what I mean? Like I'm some random ass guy with a camera who fucking makes videos, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like a portion of the spark that I've gotten from creating the audiences but come from me being relatable, you know? I think that's why a lot of people, like, they gravitate towards me because, like I said, we all have access to the same shit. If you see me with the same camera, the same equipment that you have, and I'm doing creative shit with it, it makes it seem possible for you to do it, you know, as opposed to seeing a director who's been doing it for 15 years on a set with 50 people, you might be like, man, I don't fucking know anything about this.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So,
or you assume you got to go through some sort of education process to get it to click, or just serve years of like PAing and shit on set to be able to do it. That is true. Yo, I'm curious, when you go to how often are you releasing videos? Like weekly?
I kind of just upload when I feel like it at this point, you know. But I try to do like a weekly schedule. Yeah.
What is typically like your process for creating videos? I know you just showed like in your tour video you have like a big ass whiteboard and shit, and you're putting your ideas. So like, what's kind of the process you go about when you're creating?
I gotta get a topic that excites me in some kind of way. You know, it has to be something that I think is fun, or something that is fast that I feel like people can take something from. Those are like the two elements for me. It's like, okay, I don't always have to make the biggest possible video, but if it's fast, it needs to at least be able to affect somebody, or they need to be able to learn something from it really fast. So first, it's just me coming up with an idea for a video. I could get that idea sparked from a bunch of different stuff. It might be an Instagram post somebody made. It might be another YouTube video. It might be a movie, you know? So it's just coming up with an idea first and foremost. And then it's me kind of sculpting out that idea into something that's digestible. And it's always a battle between time and production. Like, you want to make quality shit, but like, you don't want to have every video take 2 months to make.
Right.
Know?
Right.
Like a YouTube video can be anywhere from 2 hours to 2 weeks. So it's just all about figuring out that balance and putting a deadline on it, because if you don't have one, then you're fucking making shit forever.
Yeah, I think it's cool because some of the videos you'll make, literally it's just you talking to me. You know what I mean? Like, you just talk to the camera and just say, like, you just kind of spilling your guts on a certain topic, and you can let it run for 9 minutes. But hearing you think wild thoughts like that, even though it's constructive, really helps. And then obviously you can have like really dialed video. And I know you did, what's the platform? I did the free trial thing from your account. And you got to like break down how you like scouted a location on set and Skillshare. Yeah. So you built like a little course on that to be able to kind of break down like how you go about the process of creating videos, right?
Yeah.
So when you do pick up clients and you go out and you're gonna shoot a project, like, what is that process for you? Like, finding good locations and finding location hacks. Like for you talk about trespassing. Hell yeah, that's how we got shit done. But like in LA, you literally like get fined. If you have a legitimate production company, they'll like, and I didn't know this shit when I came out here, is that if you break the rules and you don't have proper what the hell am I talking about? Permits, shit. And you get like strikes, and they'll shut your whole company down, and that it goes along. So it's like really different here. But for you, like, what's your process when it comes to like creating a visual and coming up with concepts for music videos?
So it's me listening to the song or kind of collaborating with the artist. A lot of the times artists reach out to you, they already got an idea of somewhat what they want to do. Right. You know, and then it's just me kind of taking the budget that we have available, crafting that into either angles and locations, or crafting that into, okay, we got this amount of money, we can get this, we can get this, we can get this. And then, you know, just kind of crafting that into creative angles. But the process kind of differs. Sometimes artists come to me and they just got a budget and they don't know what the hell they want to do. Right. So then it's up to me to kind of craft this into something that they might like. And it's almost the same process, but it's easier when I can just collaborate off of an idea that they have. You know, say somebody comes to me and they got a certain budget, they got a song, they're like, oh, I want to do this for it. Okay, we can do that here at these locations, and here are some of the creative ideas that I have to implement into this and make it make sense. But shit, it could be as simple as us just going down the street to an alleyway and filming a couple different angles as well, you know? Right.
So it typically ranges, and I think it is mad helpful when whoever is coming to you with some sort of general direction on it. But other than that, it's like, have you found mood boards? Like, honestly, bro, Pinterest is a hack to life.
Yes.
You use like platforms like that to try to get inspired by certain things for visuals?
Yeah, absolutely. So I use sites like Pinterest. Instagram has a really cool thing where you can save collections. Do you use that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have an inspiration collection on Instagram where it's like, okay, I'm scrolling, I'm finding cool inspirational lighting setups, cool inspirational moods, lighting moods. So I have a full-on collection for that. I use sites like the Internet Music Video Database. You ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, so
No, what is it?
all mainstream music videos of pretty much any genre are uploaded to this one site, and they rank them from like top 100 of the month, top of the year. And it's just like, yo, you could just go through a playlist of music videos and just like, I'm sitting here taking off screen grabs of certain shit that I like, lighting, oh, this is fire. And then I have folders on my computer. I categorize these into different colors, different lighting setups. And then once I get a song and it's like, oh, this is a dark song, let me go to my dark inspiration folder, pull out some frames and figure out how I can adjust these to make them into my own thing.
Yeah, I love that. You know who Matt Alonso is?
Yes.
Matt was on the podcast early, and he said he's got the craziest folder on his computer of just reference shit, and like that helps so much when you're really trying to get inspired by something. I feel like recently, I feel like when I try, like I have opportunity, you know, there's different artists I would like to work with and shit, and my Rolodex has grown from there, so I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to work with this person on this idea. And when it gets to like literally the drawing board coming from scratch, not like to pitch someone, not even to like have them hit me up about a concept.
Yeah.
I struggle with that where I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what would be a dope visual to this record? And I forget to remind myself that to look at mood boards, bro. Like that's like a literal life hack to get inspired on content. When you, going back to, for YouTubers, because I think there's a lot of people that are getting into this, when you get into freelance, right? And you get into being creative and you're considering jumping ship from your job or you just want to try to get kind of known in your city, YouTube is a great expressive outlet. So for people that are coming into the platform or are new to it, what suggestions do you have, like 3 tips or anything that you would give to people who are starting a channel that maybe they could use that to literally jumpstart their career in that space? Definitely, I'm sure you've made some mistakes, so you probably learned through this journey.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think it more so starts on, why do you want to start YouTube? Are you trying to build an audience? Are you trying to just have fun? Are you trying to like build a space for your portfolio work? Like I feel like those are 3 things that really matter when you're thinking about creating a YouTube channel. Like if you're trying to create a YouTube channel for the sole purpose of growing on the platform, you got to make searchable content, because that's all YouTube is. It's literally just a search platform. It's like Google with videos. That's all it is.
Right.
So if you're starting from nothing, think about what people would search for on your niche. So us for filmmaking and doing music video content, people love camera gear. They love that shit. They love it, though. And you already got a camera. Somebody wants to buy that camera. Somebody's thinking about buying that camera. Make a video about it. Maybe you can go shoot some cinematic tests with it. Or maybe you can make a review about it. Talk about how you feel about the camera. Or maybe you got a cool ass light and it's just like, okay, yeah, this light is popular. I'm gonna make a video about it.
How much time do you spend outside of creating the content, but how much time do you spend, and we're trying to get better at this on the Black with No Cream channel, with tags and your thumbnails? Like,
I think thumbnails are almost more important than the title and the tags. Yeah. Honestly, like a provoking thumbnail that somebody wants to click is probably more important than the title and the tags. I use vidIQ at all?
I've been using TubeBuddy.
I'm the same thing. Yeah, all right. Pretty much the same thing. All right. So I mean, like you can use that, get good suggested tags, but the thumbnail process is something that is like big. You know what I mean? So most of the time when I'm thinking about a video topic, I'm thinking about the thumbnail before I even make the video.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like if say I have a topic that I love, right? I love this topic. I think this topic, I'm passionate about it, but if I can't think of a good title and a good thumbnail for it, and my whole purpose is the intent of growing and, making a big video, I probably won't even make that video.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense, bro, because it's like if I go to your channel and I'm scrubbing through and, I'm trying to find an example so we can like actually walk through one that you're thinking about, like before and after. Video editing plugins I'm glad I bought. Were you thinking, all right, cool, I could just show before and afters, I'll go get shots in the city and literally compare them, and that's the thumbnail, so my whole thing's going to base off of that thumbnail specific, or...
Yeah, so I think I think if you're talking about anything in the creative space that will have a transformation on the image, you got to show that. You got to make it look as drastic as possible. So you might take a log photo, then you'll color grade the photo, and then you could do the before and after. And it's like, God damn, how do you get from this to this? I got to click on this video. I got to see what this is about.
Right.
You know? So yeah, like videos like that was the idea for the thumbnail. Like I could have just showed pictures of the software, but it's just like, who the fuck wants to click on that?
Well, and I think it's cool because with your channel, it's like you are kind of the character for the channel, right? So people recognize your face. So it's like kind of important for you to include you in that content as well. Because yours isn't like mad graphic-y, even though that's what you came up on doing was graphics.
Yeah.
Yours is feels very simple and minimalist, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So have you tried both worlds? Have you tried like experimenting with like?
Nah.
No?
I haven't. I see that it works very well for certain people, but I've never experimented with it. To be completely honest with you, that shit might blow up. It might win.
Yeah, I want to know,
You know?
dog. Because when I look,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe you did and you cracked the code. Because I mean, they look great. It always sticks out, especially if you're like a creative and you're following creative educators that can help you. Like if you're just scrolling through your subscribers or whatever, and all of a sudden a shot of you with two like C100s or 300s or whatever, I'm like, oh, you know, I use a C300. Cool, I'm gonna click this shit. You know what I mean? People think like that.
Yeah. I almost kind of like, it's weird because I've been on YouTube for a couple years now. I almost kind of relate certain thumbnail styles to certain genres. You know, so for me, the super poppy, super graphic-y thumbnails, in my mind, relates to social channels, people who do pranks, they do social vlogs. Whereas in the filmmaking space, I kind of relate super clean, crisp, sharp thumbnails to somebody who knows about either filmmaking or photography.
Right.
But I've never experimented with crossing over. That's just how it connects in my mind.
Yeah.
Does that make sense though?
No, absolutely. It's total sense. I mean, it's all just like you do what works, right? Like we just do what works. But I think it is solid and it's interesting to think about that perspective. I'd be also curious to hear from your angle on building relationships with clients. Like you've worked with mad artists and you know, local brands and everybody. So when you go out and do that, what are some pieces of advice that you've learned that help you build relationships that can turn into paid jobs from the networking standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's really important to deal with clients who you can realistically see succeeding, or they have some sort of product that you genuinely enjoy, because then you're down to go through the bullshit with them. You know what I mean? If I have an artist and I absolutely love this person's music and I genuinely think that this person can become a successful being, I'm down to deal with him coming to set 35 minutes late, or, you know, fucking off 2 hours on our time in the studio, because it's like, dang, like I genuinely like you as a person. You know what I mean? I like what you do. I enjoy your creative space. But when you got an artist who you don't like their music, you don't like what they're doing, they don't pay you, they're fucking off time, like, you know what I mean? Then it's just like, bro, why am I even here right now?
Right.
You know? So I think building relationships with artists just comes down to just liking them as people and actually enjoying what they do.
Right. Were you ever doing like outreach outside of music videos for like, because I think a lot of people don't understand too, especially when you're getting started in music videos, that the corporate world pays some bags for easy work. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Were you dipping into that at all?
No.
You weren't?
No. Well, I mean, I would do event recaps from here and there. I've done like small business commercials, but honestly, me not being knowledged in the space of video production at all, I was kind of going into those projects charging the same amount that I was doing for my music videos. So,
right.
You know, it just was that I wasn't knowledgeable about the space at all. So I was just undercutting myself every single time on the video production in general.
Yeah,
it wasn't until like, you know, later on, it's like, damn, where I have companies reaching out to me for sponsorships and they want to pay me $2,000-$3,000 to talk about something for 30 seconds. It's like, God damn, these companies got money. You know?
Right. Tons of money.
I've been struggling my whole fucking music video career, shooting a bunch of shit and doing a bunch of different edits and all this cool effects and shit. And it's like, damn, I could have been filming 30-second commercials with J and L cuts,
right?
You know, and a simple color grade.
That's hilarious.
20 times what I was making. So,
isn't that crazy? And I don't think.
It's wild.
I think that when you get into that space, that I'm assuming that clicked for you as soon as you got your first brand deal with YouTube. You know what I mean? When you saw that happen, you're like, oh shit, because the stress of being able to just fucking go so hard for a video that maybe someone's giving you $1,000, $500,
Yes.
$600, no money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then you can go and create something that brands are gonna respect because they realize there's value behind it. Is that fucked up, dog? I hate that shit about the
Yeah.
music industry.
That shit sucks, man. It's wild, yo. It's like you put in the most amount of work around the artist and you get paid the least amount of money. That shit's crazy.
Right. It's like they need this. They need this video. They need that, whatever it is. And it seems to always be the last thing anyone will front some money for it, which is just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And it's such a stressful thing to talk about all the time because it just gets me exhausted, you know?
Yeah, I think the shift in artistry kind of, with other artists experimenting with very low budget music videos and still having to be successful, kind of shifted the music video space entirely. Like we had artists like Chief Keef who fucking shot his music video in his living room and it fucking did 40-50 million. It's just like, god damn, why are we paying all this money for music videos when we can just do this?
Right. And that's what Matt, to go back to Matt Alonzo, what he talked about in his interview was how him and DJ Ski like low key like shifted the culture for that, because they did I think it was a Soulja Boy video that they did for like $3K, and at that time like a standard music video was always like 100 or 80 at minimum, like, and they came through and did it on a 7D I think, and just fucking shit. And he said that he had directors would show up to his sets like being like, you took this job from me, what the fuck are you doing, and like we're hot about it. But for real, at that point in time when that shit happened, the budget's just, oh, you don't have to spend that much money on video anymore. The technology is so affordable and shit. Like, it changes. What do you use when you do shoot videos, the music videos and stuff? What are you using for like your typical go-to gear if you're in a smaller crew?
One of the select mirrorless cameras, GH5, A7 III. Might pick up an EOS R Canon, Sony A7 III. Just a standard mirrorless camera, honestly. Gimbal, maybe scoop around in them. Use an Aperture 120D, some Quasar science tubes, and we good. We can rock off that.
Right, for real. How have you built like a team? Have you built a team in that area? Like being able to rely on crew and kind of start building out people. And I'm assuming that the channel, bro, probably has exposed you to some solid ass creators to collaborate with, has it?
Yeah, it has. I'm weird with collabs though, bro. I've had like sets where I invite random people to come, and it's just like I'm working and they want to talk about cameras all fucking day, and I'm just like, bro, this ain't the time.
Right.
So I kind of closed the gate on that, but I do have people that I selectively work with when the budget's there, you know, because sometimes shit, I'm not getting paid that much money. I've even recently taken on projects just off the sole purpose of me being able to document them. So it's just like I'll take on a project, maybe like $3-4 grand, and then I'll spend all of the money into production and help, and then try to make it back on the back end of just documenting for YouTube.
That's a great investment, man. I mean, it's clearly paying off because you get to expose a lot of shit to a lot of people, and we never get to see that shit. So it is cool to share that. What's up with the podcast? You guys started the podcast and not too long ago?
Yeah, so we did the podcast. We haven't filmed in a minute though. It's been a couple weeks now. I just had a son 2 months ago, so he's 2 months now.
Congrats, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I had my son, and it's just been like it's grind time, yo.
Yeah.
We sit down when we can. I want to get one in really soon, but I just been working nonstop on this course, honestly.
Yeah, how is that balancing the relationship with having children and being a creative and like, I'm addicted to this shit. I'm assuming you are too. Like, we can't stop thinking about this shit, and to be able to put brakes on when needed is challenging. So what have been some of the ways you've dealt with having a family and operating that plus your own business?
For me, I feel like the thing that really has helped me is just setting time restraints. So it's like I set myself a certain amount of time every day to get shit done, and if it doesn't get done, I just gotta wait till the next day, you know? And it's tough. It'll be times where like I have this time set right now to be with my sons, and we won't be doing shit. We'll just be sitting on the couch, and it's like, God damn, I could be in my office right now, like whipping something up, you know?
Yeah, right.
And it's like, fuck, it's just like burning up in my soul that I'm just sitting, and I feel like I'm obviously not wasting time, but it almost feels that way.
Right.
You know? So it's all mental, man. It's just all about how you think about stuff. But setting time restraints and just dealing with not getting shit done, you know? Because most of the time, it's fine if you know, it's cool if it drags over to the next day, you know? So, I mean, that, and also just delegating the weekend just for family shit, you know? It's family time. The weekend's family, you know? I need to take time off anyways. I'll find myself in this office all day, every day. And
tell me about
you know, it just got to set those time restraints.
So then what's like an average weekday for you? What time you start grinding?
I have this thing where like I can't wake up late. So regardless if I plan on working early, I just can't. I'm gonna be up regardless. So I'll get up in the morning, probably like 7:00, straighten up the house, eat. By the time that happens, my fiance, my son's up. She's gonna eat. She's gonna work out, and then I won't get to the fucking desk till like noon or 1 p.m. and that shit kind of kills me a little bit.
Damn.
It's like fuck.
Right.
You know, I've been up for 5 hours and I haven't done anything. So I'll get to the desk at like noon, and then I'm just working until 5. And it's like it's a solid 5 though. You know, It's like no distraction 5. Like I'm not doing nothing. I'm going at it. And almost I feel like the fact that I don't have the most amount of time in a day is almost forcing me to get more shit done. You know? Like sometimes you'll have like the free whole day and you're like, oh, I got all day to do this shit. And then you don't do anything. You know, so me knowing that like, okay, by 5 p.m. I have to get off, I'm going hard, you know? So
yeah.
That's like a typical day for me right now.
I like that. That's a small window, bro, to be the amount of shit you have to make and balance is a lot, bro. I remember there was a Casey Neistat episode where he broke down his day, and that shit inspired me and made me realize I literally wrote down every hour of the day, 24 hours, and was looking at it like, damn, I spend a lot of time. When I get off work, I come home, me and my girl kick it, we'll watch like Netflix or whatever, chill till 10, 11, she falls asleep. And then I realize that I just stay in that that mode, not like just continue watching Netflix till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I wake up mad late and I started writing all this shit. I'm like, fuck, there's so much time that I could utilize that I didn't realize. And when I saw Casey break down how his is like militant, weird, like, you know what I mean? It was like every minute was accounted for. This is when I'm going over here. This is how I'm going over here. But he figured out how to maximize his day. I think that's crucial to really analyze and make the best. Like for you, 5 hours, how do you avoid any like emails and texts and all this shit from people? Like, what do you do? Do you shut everything off and just go focus on the video you're making or what?
Yeah, so I think me like myself, I feel like I'm addicted to numbers. So it's like, if I see that number at the top of my email thing, I'm probably going to click that shit and see what's going on. You know, if I hear that notification, I'm probably going to see what's up. So it's really just me turning my phone on silent and just closing my office door. And I'm just fucking working, bro. Like, I'm in it. I know that at this time, I have to get off the computer. So my process is turning off iMessage on my computer, turning off the email on my computer, and just putting my phone down on silent and just head down into work. Yeah,
I've been removing the badges, like turning those notification badges. Fucking will kill you, bro.
Yeah, the badges.
I hate it.
I just watch my email number go up and I'm clicking that shit every time. I'm like, nothing in here is important right now.
Right. When it comes down to collaborating, what's like the process? Have you had much opportunity to collaborate with other YouTubers in the space, like creative YouTubers?
Not really. It's not that I don't have the opportunity. I just more so don't even really pursue the opportunity, you know? I'm weird with the creative process, man. Like, it's like, I like to be in my own world. I don't really like to compromise anything that I'm doing. I work really weird. I like my shit in like a very particular way. So I don't really collab with people like that. I'm not against it, but I don't pursue it. I'm not like actively reaching out to people for collaborations, but that's just me. I just know how I like to work. I know how efficient I am doing certain shit a certain way.
Right.
So, you know, that's just how I do it.
I feel that. I appreciate you giving us some time out of your 5 hour window we got in the daytime. It means a lot. I'm glad we were able to do this. I think like there's a lot of creatives that look up to you, man, and to get a glimpse into what the day in life's like for you and your thought process on shit is powerful for people.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I mean, I listen to the podcast all the time, so it's just like, hell yeah. I'm trying to be on there with the likes of all the other amazing people. Fuck yes, put me on.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, bro. No, I appreciate it, and we'll link to obviously the channel, your Instagram, and then you want the podcast. I'll put that down in the description and shit too. But anything else? What's the plan moving forward, bro? Like, as you know, pandemic aside, like what's your plan for the next year?
Right now, course. Full in, all in. Got to get the course done. The course gets out. I want to get back to traveling for real. Like, I briefly touched on like the experiences that I had last year and how the memorable ones are just culture shocks and doing other shit. I want more of that. I want to go to other places. I want to see different things. I want to experience different cultures, see how other people creatively work. So that's like what I want to do. I know pandemic is shitty right now, but like I'm trying to hop on a plane, bro. I'm trying to hop on a plane. Have you been home since the pandemic hit?
Yeah, my uncle passed not too long ago, so I flew home like 2 weeks ago for a funeral.
What was that experience like?
Traveling low key wasn't bad. It was you wear your mask. Luckily the plane separated people by, you know, if you were solo, you got like a seat between you, I guess, or whatever, and it wasn't bad. There was one dude that was so weird to me. He walked on the plane without a mask on, and I was like, what the fuck? And then we get on the plane, and as I'm boarding, I'm like, yo, so what's the deal? We don't gotta wear masks? You guys aren't letting that, you're just letting not wear masks? And they're like, oh, that goes in effect tomorrow. And I'm like, how did that not go in effect when people started dying from this shit? And that was just a thing. But dude he ended up, of course, like I spot him, and he ends up sitting right in front of me. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, man, this is crazy. And this old woman sat next to him and shit too. And she's old. And I'm like, come on. And then we land the plane, bro. We made jokes about this dude the whole flight. And then we land the plane, and I look up, and he's got this mask on that he just put on when we landed for some reason that had like legit like breathing and shit and all this. I'm like, the whole flight, and you land and put it, like, what do you mean? Just to get your bags? And then we get to baggage, and he's there, and he's not wearing it anymore. I was so confused. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Like, he could have been low-key doing a prank video or some shit just to get my reaction. I don't know, man. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. Obviously, it's like a weird time to do it, and it's a risk, but it wasn't terrible. But also, who fucking knows? I'll find out in a couple months when I find out I have coronavirus.
I feel like I've already had that shit, low-key.
Really?
I be like feeling like the weirdest. Like that shit is weird, man. I feel like I probably already had it, or like I don't know.
It gets
Not that I don't take precautions. I wear my mask and shit, but like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, damn, my fucking throat hurts today.
I know. You start wondering. I was watching that Tom Hanks movie. Did you watch that one on Apple TV that they came out? Oh fuck! It's a great film. I can't even think of the name of it, but the adrenaline was running, and then I started being like, can I not breathe right? Do I have coronavirus? And you know what I mean? It's terrifying, bro. It's a weird time, but anyway, I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad your kids are healthy and shit. Congrats on the new baby. But yo, stay safe and everything, and we'll touch base soon. Next time you're in LA, for sure you got to pull up.
Yes, 100%.
Making that happen. All right, man. Take care, bro.
For sure. Peace.
That's it for episode 205. Huge shout out to Chris for coming on the show. Everyone, do him a solid and go subscribe to his YouTube channel if you want a behind the scenes look into what it's like to make music videos and content in general. Chris is sharing that, and do him a solid and hit that sweet notification bell button, because YouTubers love that shit. And also, if you've ever wanted to get in touch with us or just support the podcast and you're a fan and you want to give us some feedback, or maybe even have ideas for episode topics that we should cover, or a creator that we should have on the podcast, you should shoot us a text. 319-209-9041. The number's in the description if I read that too quick. Also, there's a link that makes it easier to click on there, but hit that. And every week we're literally send out weekly motivation lessons that we're learning from each podcast episode, and it's great just getting in touch with all y'all. So it's been awesome to connect with hundreds of you so far, and cheers to hundreds and hundreds more, and we're just going to empower the community with this thing. So stay in touch, and other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the work week, keep creating, help someone out today who may need it. You never know what that will do for someone. Cool. All right, we'll see you in a few days. You bitch.